Hey guys, thank you very much for the comments on the last video. It was all great stuff. We're glad some of you are finding it really useful, and obviously keep letting us know how you're getting on. The question we've been having now, which we need to answer, is how do you know when you're missing movement, and how do you know when you should worry about spending time mobilizing? What's the benchmark for that? What's the standard test to use? Clinically, on the physio bed, it's very easy, but in the gym, it's less easy to be sure. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through a couple of techniques that you can use as a means of self-assessment in the gym. You can go into the gym, get against a bit of wall space, test yourself out. If you have capacity, fantastic. If you don't, you may have to invest a little bit of time on working on that dysfunction before you start. There's two tests that we're going to do which are of most interest to us. The first one is a general impression of overhead capacity. Do I need to worry about working on this, yes or no? The second test is, have I got enough rotational shoulder movement, which also influences overhead capacity? Are one of these of significant deficit? Does that need to be addressed? So we're going to go through both tests right now, very simply, okay? Test one, we are going to start against the wall. We are going to be starting with elbows and arms straight. Thumbs always going to lead the way for this. We're going to talk about leading the way with the thumb all the way through to an end of range position, which will be marked by the wall. When you get to the wall, instead of focusing on the thumb remaining pointed as though you're leading the way, you're going to tuck the thumb in and you're going to be contacting the wall with this aspect of your arm, your wrist area. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. So, test number one, very simple. You're going to find some free wall space. You're going to set yourself up in position. Your feet are going to be about a foot away from the wall. In this position now, I'm going to bend my knees. I bend my knees into a semi-squatted position. In this position now, what's important for those of you who were with us last time is we try to claim a good position against the wall. We're trying to flatten out the small of your back by squeezing your bum and tummy together. Remember, it's always an active position. We're testing an active capacity, not a passive one. So we are bum tight, tummy tight, backs flat. Test number one. Arms start with your arms fully extended at the elbows by your sides. My back is flat against the wall, my thumbs are leading the way. I take my arms forward all the way through range until my wrists hit the wall. That's really important. And I come back down. At no point in this movement should I be doing a big rib flare, arching my back and disconnecting. That makes this test much easier, of course, but then it's a false positive. It's a false assessment information. You're not going to be able to do anything with it. You have to have the back flat against the wall as a reference, and you have to go up, hit the wall at the top, come back down fully. If you find it's a deficit, one side to the other, you'd work on that one side. Test number one. Test number two. Test number two is a rotational test. You're in the same position against the wall. My feet are away from the wall, my knees are bent. My elbow is and my arm is at 90 degrees at my shoulder and 90 degrees at the line of my elbow bend. In this position, with my back against the wall nice and flat, I squeeze my bum and my tummy to keep it there. I am dropping my arm down towards the floor until I hit a point where my thumb should be able to touch the wall. I maintain this 90-degree angle at the shoulder. I drop down until my thumb is able to touch the wall. Okay? At this point, the back of my shoulder here is contacting the wall at every part of this movement. It's not popping forwards into this broken position. If that happens, of course, it gets really easy to do the test. You have to pin this back, keep the back flat, and get down until you touch the wall with the thumb. That's your marker. The opposite way, it's the same test, just you go backwards until the back of your wrist hits the wall on the top end. I'm not arching my back On this occasion, I'm keeping my back pinned in as I have been before. You'll want to flare going up. You'll want to come forward going down. Those are the two positions you're going to have to assess yourself for to make sure you're being particularly strict that they ain't happening. As a rough guide, both arms should hit the wall at the top without any elbow bend and with your back in a good position. In the 90-degree test, you should be at a distance where you can reach the wall with your thumb, which is about 2 or 3 inches away. At the top, you should be contacting the wall fully with the back of the wrist area, okay? You mustn't break your midline position at any moment, otherwise it's a fail test. Let us know how you go, guys. For those of you who find restrictions in these movements and are not sure how to deal with that, that's coming next. Cheers.